Peace, family. Sister Ajali doing my unprofessional best to get started with what I know is just a sister. And I don't remember the sister who brought this. Oh, I don't even know what to call it. Just absolute crime that was committed against a family. And I was scaling back the amount of shares that I was doing, so I didn't cover it. But I've been aware for a long time because of that, sister, of this family and how their baby was snatched from them. So when Dr. Z presented to me the topic that we should do as a live together, I was on board, because if any of us were to start talking about all the things that need to be shared, then we would all be up here just 24/7. It would be the broadcast that would never end. So I thank anyone who is joining. Oh, peace, Sister Gwen B. How you doing, Queen? And anyone who is listening after the fact, or you're joining in later on, it's a wonderful thing when we get together. This is my favorite place to just be with you, family. You are so aware. You're about being done. And that's where Dr. Z and I are at also. We are done with the nonsense because it's off the scale. There's no compromising with it. And thereby we have no choice in this regard. A sister had said to me, Sister Queen, I know who I am. She says that I'm very brave. And I think we're all brave in our own particular ways, because you do have folks who are afraid even to hit like. So hit like, because that's the only way to stop them from just escalating the nonsense to the point where with all of us, they could just come in and take our children, seize our children, and that'll be the sum total of it.
Peace, family. Oh, and that, it's funny because if you don't hit the like button and subscribe, you actually give them an excuse to censor this type of commentary. Also, so you being a punk, too scared to hit a like, but like, come on, bro, like, really? It's not even a like. It ain't like I like you. It's a like. You know what I'm saying? It's the most trivial thing you can do on the internet is hit a like. When you don't do that, because I can understand if you don't like it, there's a thumbs down too a lot of times, but they might remove that. If you don't like it, that's fine. But if you like it and you enjoyed it, why not hit like and encourage the person that posted it to post more? You know what I'm saying? When you just take the information, walk past it, don't acknowledge what's going on, you actually can discourage some people from continuing on to share this information. All right. You know how sensitive cats are today? How scared they are about being on social media and how worried they are. Well, oh my God, what if somebody disagrees with me? Or you know how it works on social media. Some people are very insecure anyway. But the key is something as simple as liking and subscribing matters on YouTube. That's the point I'm trying to make. If you like it, hit the like and subscribe. All right. You can mute the notifications if you want to, but just subscribe and say subscribe. Right? It ain't gonna cost nobody any money. It ain't even cost you anything. Just subscribe, like and subscribe.
That's right.
All right. If you like what you heard, share it too. You can share it. Can't you share videos on YouTube? Like, oh, this was popping. Do you guys do that on YouTube?
Yeah,
share
a little
videos?
bit. In my community, which if you have, I think, a certain amount of subscribers, then you can have a community page where you could post memes. That's where you could also share other people's content. And a couple people have done that. Sister Celestia Danes did that for me.
Yeah.
And also I think Sister Daphne X also shared
Yeah, but you can share it to Facebook.
That's
you can
true.
share it to Twitter.
That's
you
true.
can share it to Instagram. This type of sharing I'm talking about. Cross-platform sharing is really where it's at. You know what I mean? Because that way you can hit other markets that some people are only on YouTube. They don't have social. They don't use Facebook or Instagram. But that means somebody has to give them an entree into those communities with the content. You know what I mean? It's not like a big deal. Just forward it. You know what I'm saying? You can email it, text it. There's so many different ways to share information now.
Yeah, that's
you stupid now. You just want to be stupid. That's the point I'm trying to make. Anybody stupid now wants to remain stupid because everything is literally at your fingertips up in this piece. All right.
Yeah, and I think sometimes it's because it's so easy that's what gives us a little procrastination, as if there's still, like, even if all white people were really, really nice and wonderful, their society was fabulous, we would still need to separate from them. And so but now they're leaving no doubt where they're going. So there's no more room for putting these things off. It makes if you want to protect the children, it makes no kind of sense.
If you want independent voices, you're going to have to support independent voices. That's really what it comes down to. You want coons and flunkies and Negroes running you, then you keep supporting them. So that's what you're getting. Everybody you supporting is a coon and a flunky damn near. Damn near everybody you supporting. You know what I'm saying? You'll talk more about Steve Harvey than Steve Coakley. Like, what? Steve Harvey? What has he done?
I know.
Nothing.
I know.
Nothing. I'm like, dude, this stuff is, you know, this information is still out here, but this is what you're flocking to. Because they have made the people celebrity whores. The celebrities are whores, and they made you a celebrity whore, a junkie, that you're addicted to these celebrities. Like, them having this brand or this notoriety gives them some social value above your own because you don't value yourself. All right? You're always looking for something bigger than yourself. All right? To look up to. That's not going to work in the long run.
That's exactly.
You're going to have to find something in yourself to look up to. You're going to have to execute your will and your wishes and the things you want to see done in this world. You have to execute them yourself, and then you will have more self-respect because you will have accomplishments to back your beliefs. You ain't just saying stuff.
Right.
You're building stuff to represent yourself, represent your belief system, not just talking about it. That's what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
So we have to support our freedom fighters, as Steve Coakley called them. Because in the Black community, ain't no job called freedom fighter. I mean, we let our freedom fighters die of starvation damn near in the street. While you chasing around you're talking about Jay-Z or somebody's dress fell down or some stupid shit on the stage shade room. I see you're talking about thousands of people responding to. Millions of people responding to nonsense. Literally. I'm not, this ain't hate. This is like, yo, your priorities most of our priorities are misplaced. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
Our priorities are wrong.
Yeah.
That's why we can't make the real progress you need to make to be successful as a people. First, you have to become a people first. Then you can be successful as a people. All right? You have to accept your own self. Accept your own and be yourself. All right? I just thought this subject was interesting because a lot of people are going through this, dealing with the governmental services. And this couple had to deal with it. Unfortunately, I think this is their third child. So this is their first child that they wanted to have natural childbirth with. So you have a family that's trying to embrace a more natural way of performing, you know what I mean? Of living, a more natural culture, to have a better method of bonding with you bond with your children better when they're born at home. All right. Children being born in these cold hospitals with these funny paint colors and around a bunch of people with gloves and masks teaches them isolation, all right, and detachment. That's why they put them in these environments to birth them. You know what I'm saying? We black folk just got into these places. We just started using these hospitals maybe mostly in the 50s. Remember, you were rural people. We had our own midwives. You just got into hospitals.
Right.
All right. Most of your anybody born in the 30s was not black folk down south, especially. They was not usually born in the hospital. They was born at home. If you was up north, you might have been born in the hospital. But if you were born in a rural environment, you were not likely, and black, you were not likely born in the hospital. We had whole places for midwifery. My mother they called them the granny ladies in North Carolina when she was growing up. The granny lady, they would come and help you with the childbirth. All right. They didn't go get certified by the white folk. All right. They didn't have no paperwork with the state. All right. But they were well versed in delivering babies.
Right.
All right.
Right.
And they were good at it.
Yeah, and they would have like a family with 15, 20 children.
Exactly.
One
so
woman.
they had a lot of practice.
They knew what to do.
They had a lot of practice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So most scenarios they went through, they were probably more well versed in the hospitals that people were going to when they first started going to the hospitals. Of course, everything is regimented in the hospital. All right. Everything is regimented in the hospital. Things are not so regimented when you're in the real world. I mean, yes, there's a structure, things have to be done, but the variety. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You go on to house. It's not one spot you're going to. So you go into different places. You got to move different. It's just a whole different environment. It's a much more dynamic environment. Just like growing something on the plantation as opposed to growing a plant in the wild.
Right.
It's different. It's going to have different energy, different vitality.
Which
it's going to be made of sterner stuff.
I could definitely verify that just simply through eating the dandelion that we get from the supermarket, as opposed to when I go and harvest dandelion out in the wild in the front yard. It's the texture is I don't know, just it's so different. Categorically different. It's outside. What I get from the yard is denser, it's richer. It just has a tenacity, whereas and I'm not saying the dandelion in the supermarket isn't healthy. It's wonderful stuff. But at the same time, I'm wondering, what is it lacking that the wild stuff have that makes the wild stuff so fibrous and so thick and so solid?
Predators, abuse.
Yeah, I know. Right. Yeah, that's what they say.
Water, irregular water supply. Come on, everything. When you give something to everybody, you give somebody everything, they don't want to do nothing. Generally, you know what I'm saying? You make them lazy. All right. So the same thing with plants. Plants have to go through struggles in order to get strength up. You don't lift any weight, you don't get your arm strength up, right? Same thing with plants. They have to go through these struggles in order to grow more stronger and more nutritious, more vitality. Right. That's all. Ain't no big deal. Yeah, but this was a sad case, unfortunate case, and fairly common case. All right. So like I said, you got a couple trying to delve into the culture and try to do things in more natural, quote unquote, natural way, holistic way of childbirth. Yet they still want to deal with the allopathic system. See?
Yep.
That's the problem. See, you trying to live in both worlds.
Yeah.
You can't live in both worlds. All right. We have an allopathy also, but it's not like the medical industry. See, there's difference. Allopathic is also on the holistic side too. There's allopathic practices. All right. We might have to use an extract or something for it. You know what I mean? In order to get it into you faster. So you might use an extract. All right. That would be an allopathic type of process.
Right. That's turning a natural component into something.
Yes. Or separating the natural, a certain component out of a plant or whatever.
Right.
Or fruit.
Right.
You might have to do that sometime in the holistic environment. But that's all they do in the medical industry.
Yeah.
All right. But in the holistic environment, your extractions are going to be from the whole fruit or the whole plant. In the hospital, they're going to be extracted from, they're going to be synthetic usually because it's cheaper for them to do these drugs synthetically than organically. Right. So I can just make a bunch of cheap ass chemicals and put them together and make something that will simulate or have have a molecular equality
Mm.
to what I'm trying to make from the real world. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That don't mean it has a nutritional equality. All right?
Exactly.
It can have a molecular equality. That don't mean it has a nutritional equality.
Right, because it's
All right?
removed from the
Exactly.
method that it would be more
and that don't mean it will be
absorbed.
recognized by the body for its curative properties.
Right.
See?
Mm-hmm.
Because everything has to go through conversion in the body. It's got to be flags for what it's got to be vetted. Everything that goes in the body got to be vetted for use.
Mm-hmm.
You call that digestion.
Mm-hmm.
Every plant, everything you put in your stomach is vetted. Can I use that? Can't use that. If you can't use it, it's going to come out as fecal matter or urine, or it might just turn to fat on your ass. A lot of times you just turn to fat on your ass because you're eating too much. And the body can't get rid of it that way, so it just turns to fat.
Mm.
All right? White adipose tissue.
Mm-hmm.
Haven for pathogens and toxins and disease.
Right.
All right? So even if it don't come out of your anus or your urethra, it's waste.
Mm-hmm.
All right? It's going to get rid of waste somehow or another. In other words, it's been vetted.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what this is. Put it in the butt cheeks.
Mm.
We don't know what it is. Put it around the belly.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what it is. Make it fecal matter.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what it is. Go out with the uric acid.
Right.
All right? We don't know what it is. We don't know what to do with it. Store it in the uterus and let it become a toxic fibroid.
Mm-hmm.
Grow into a toxic fibroid.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
That's you dealing with the body. The body is intelligent. We're not.
Yes, it's very true. I just was watching a documentary that, well, anyway, without getting into how they don't say everything or talk about everything, and they don't describe melanin at all, but they were talking about how there's been proven emotions and thought processes that happen basically in every organ, because what you're dealing with is just different levels of the brain itself, where the brain is the hub. It's got all those neurons and all that electrical activity, but your heart has its own neuronal function that oftentimes, because it is the organ that needs to keep working to keep the brain alive, it can target what it needs immediately.
Yes.
And so that it'll keep you alive.
Cells communicate.
Yes,
every cell communicates.
Cells have a will to live.
Yes.
That's why if you're not doing the right
They
thing
have
by
to
them,
communicate.
they'll go cancerous.
They have to communicate to keep you alive.
Exactly.
All right?
Exactly.
A lot of like we've said in the AMA, Aboriginal Medical Association, disease is miscommunication in the body. It could be miscommunication from the DNA to the RNA, miscommunication from cell to cell. It could be miscommunication in the methylation or demethylation of the gene. Is miscommunication.
Right.
That hair cell don't know it's supposed to be a hair cell. It's trying to be what? A booger cell. I don't know what it's going to be. It's wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's wrong. It's got wrong information and it's transcribing wrong.
Well,
and it's causing disease. Yes.
But going back to, because I wanted to showcase, because the thing they stole their baby for, and it was one doctor who his diagnosis said possibility of jaundice. But when I went to look it up, it's like this happens in
it's common in newborns.
It's common in newborns. And to have a touch of it is not a big deal. And in the way he described his diagnosis, he said the possibility. He didn't say, oh no, this baby's got jaundice. And so they put up there, could lead to brain damage in order to justify what he was saying. But the thing is that this was a condition that we would have dealt with, that it's just a matter.
Dude, it's worse than that. It's,
what? I know.
It's not even a condition you could have dealt with. What is the cure for jaundice in newborns? It's called light therapy. Sit your ass in the sun. That's the cure for jaundice in newborns. Sit their ass in the sun. That's the cure.
Wow.
All right.
Wow. And I know they didn't put that baby in the sun.
They call it light therapy. You got to go to the hospital and get light therapy.
Oh wow.
So they put goggles on you and put his ass out in the sun. Take the bassinet. You go out in the sun with him, hour, 2 hours a day.
Wow.
Wow. Problem solved.
Wow.
It's natural because the baby's liver now has to work independently.
Mm.
It was you were helping with the purification at one time.
Everything was
it's
coming
outside
from
of the body.
Right.
The baby had a liver in the womb, yes.
In the womb,
but it didn't breathe. And remember, the baby has no sunlight in the womb. So the D3 has to come from the mother. If the mother's D3 is insufficient already, then that baby's going to be born with a D3 sufficiency, and a sign of D3 sufficiency is jaundice. I mean insufficiency or deficiency. Deficiency, sorry.
Right.
Jaundice.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, that's my point. See, like I said, see, you trying to, like I said, the issue is not any of this. The issue is you disobey my instructions.
Ooh, speak on that. Yes.
That's all it's about. They feel like they got the ability, they got the authority to tell you whatever the hell they want you to do, and you got to execute. If you act stupid, we're going to call the cops on you. You know what I'm saying? And listen, here's the worst part. You tacitly agreed when you brought the child into the office.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Exactly.
When they brought that baby into the doctor's office, you tacitly agreed to follow their instructions.
Because they were just going
or
for
accept the
wellness, a 3-month checkup.
Well, no, the baby's a week old.
No, I saw, in the recommendation, I saw 3 months old.
Yeah, but that baby was a week old.
Oh, it was a week old. Okay.
Like, what are you taking to the doctor for? You ain't been, you need a doctor. If the doctor wasn't there for the birth, why would I bring him there to the doctor in a week to check what? Know what I'm saying? You got a certified midwife. The sister's a certified midwife, registered by the white man up and down the wazoo. I seen her little resume. She's official. Know what I mean?
Okay.
I mean, she's been doing it for like 9 years. She ain't been doing it like a long time. I mean, I don't know how it's not that popular anymore. So it's more of a
doula where
she's a doula, yeah, but I'm just saying it's more of a boutique industry now. That's what doula is. It's a boutique industry.
And what do you mean by boutique?
That means it's a small little industry because most people still have their babies in the hospitals.
That's true. You're right.
Most women, black women, are having their babies in hospitals.
Right.
All right. So the doula is only for this certain mass, to certain critical thinkers that are trying to do something different, and it's a niche, really.
And I want to add to what you're saying, a reflection, which is that they had a home birth, and immediately you're walking into a society that is feeling hunted. The medical industry feels threatened by the growing awareness that a lot of people have of being natural. And they're fighting it in terms of, different, like, ridiculous things. This article I have here where is free speech killing us? FDA commissioner declares misinformation a medical risk.
Yes.
And it's not misinformation. It's simply a second, a third, a fourth, a fifth opinion. And if we're adults and not children, then we should be, and we're free. We should be able to make any kind of decisions that we need to make.
Yeah,
and if there's consequences, as long as you're not harming somebody else, and jaundice, as you say, is such a prevalent condition in infants,
mostly because,
then it's none of your damn business.
Exactly. Like I said, mostly because the parents are suffering from these deficiencies. All right. That's why the children are suffering from these deficiencies. All right. That's really what's going on. If the mother and father were tight genetically, the child would not have to suffer.
That's true.
Deficiency.
That's
true.
You know
what I'm saying? Because for the deficiency to be made manifest, what? Both parents got to have the deficiency, damn near.
Right. And a lot of us were growing up off of demelanating foods.
Yeah.
And
all
types of poisons.
Exactly. There ain't too many like us in the AMA. There ain't too many doctors like us running around here to help you with this stuff. That's the problem.
What do you mean?
As far as understanding these concepts about deficiencies and parental and genetics affecting the birth, ain't too many quote unquote holistic doctors talking about this.
Okay, you mean holistic, not because Arna.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
We're the only ones doing it for the most part. We're the only organized body of doctors that does that.
Right.
Black folks ain't got no organized body of doctors.
That's what I just wanted to clarify that because it sounded like you were saying even in ARNA, you guys aren't doing that.
No. That's the foundation of our work.
Okay.
Like I said, I practice nutritional genetics. I'm a nutritional geneticist.
Mm.
We use nutrition to help improve or correct the genetic problems that you're experiencing.
Right.
Like
right,
what food is
right,
designed. Yeah, like what food is designed to do.
Right.
All right.
Right.
Like health is designed to do.
And see, that's the strength. It's because it was a revelation for me when I learned that the reproductive organs and the ovum and the sperm, they're a life force in and of themselves. So if you're feeding them to strengthen them,
Mm-hmm.
Then when they combine to make a new life,
Mm-hmm.
that's going to make that baby stronger from the outset.
Absolutely. Because
And so many of us aren't doing that.
Absolutely. So of course you're looking for somebody that's cute. Oh, he cute. He got a nice little ass. Oh, she cute. I like them breasts. I like them titties and ass. Look at her legs. It's so long. That's what you're looking for. Like you're looking for a horse or a cow.
Wow.
You're looking for a horse or a cow. So you're looking at this stuff. You know what I'm saying? When you're supposed to be looking at, well, what the hell is she eating? What is he eating? Is he drinking beer every weekend? Imbibing alcohol? Because that's destroying your genetics. That's going to cause genetic errors. That's going to weaken the genetic structure of your body.
Right.
Drinking wine, sulfites, eating a lot of meat, a lot of nitrates, all that stuff is going to denature your body. Right. It's going to make your sperm weaker. Let's keep it simple.
Right.
It's going to make the egg have a harder time catching on to the endometrium and staying there. It's healthy eggs. Mm-hmm. Eggs are alive. Those cells are alive too.
Exactly. They have to be.
They need nourishment too.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You can't nourish them off of 40.
Yeah.
40 on old eyes nourishment. 40, I gotta get a 40. That's not nourishment for your cells. Right?
Right.
And my man said, you don't never take your plants in your house and feed them 40 ounces of beer.
Yeah, right.
How your plant gonna grow a 40 ounce of beer?
Exactly.
Well, your plant grow if you give them 40s and not water. Right? No. So what's gonna happen to you when you're drinking 40s and not water?
Mm-hmm.
And all those different chemicals, biochemicals, they make those beers and alcohols out. They ain't just alcohol. It ain't just ferment. The beers are full of chemicals and crap. Hexanes and methanes and all this shit. Beers, totally toxic. Right?
When you get these things, it's not
wine,
just
sulfides, tear you up. All right? Alcohol, fermented from a lot of times, stuff you're drinking is from wheat. Already not good for highly acidic. All right. Home for spores and pathogens. And you're going to drink alcohol from that. What's it doing? And let alone what it's doing to your liver. No liver, no life. Listen, no liver, no life.
No liver, no life. Exactly. Liver, brain, heart.
Yeah.
You need those three tops. Lungs too. Yeah.
You got to breathe. But I'm saying no liver. You get the itis. That's the itis.
Right.
Your liver. You get the itis in your liver. Inflammation. Itis means inflammation. Inflamed liver, cirrhosis of the liver, the pickling of your liver, basically. What happens to a pickle when you pickle something?
I don't know.
It's just soaked in alcohol. That's how you pickle it.
Oh.
What do they keep the fetuses they keep on the shelf in the hospital in the lab?
Yeah, they're
in alcohol.
Of alcohol. Yeah.
Yes. As a preservative, not to preserve life, but to preserve the dead. Think about it. It's preserving the dead. It's not preserving life.
So there's no bacterial growth in there to eat it up. Exactly. Right. The bacteria can't even survive that stuff.
Exactly. Preserving death.
Right.
You want to drink liquor? You're preserving death in yourself.
Well, I did want to finish by saying with them, so they walk into a Western trained doctor, no matter what race that person is, and they've had a home birth, and so they're going to mention that. And immediately there's a response of, they didn't have it at the hospital. I'm just speculating here, but at the same time, I'm just like, this doctor took their baby away. What a drastic action. But doctors have a right to do that because sometimes children are abused.
Doctors also have an incentive to do that.
Oh, do tell.
Because they can be held liable for certain things. All right. Remember, they're trying to force you into these hospitals. All right.
Right.
So somebody trying to break away from the hospital was Dr. Africa. Somebody trying to break out the barn, break out the camp, break away from the farm, it's gonna stick out like a sore thumb. All right, so that they come in and you're not confident in them, and as a doctor, their ability to take care of a child, which is your call.
Right.
You just met them. I don't know if they have experience with these doctors, because a lot of times you'll got these medical plans, and you'll get these doctors out of a book. You have not talked to them, nothing. You just got to pick a number and a location, and that's your doctor. That's my primary. You ain't got no relationship with the primary care physician. You don't know who the hell they are. Right. There's no recommendations in that book,
and there's no history, track record of
that's
what
how
they've done.
That's how you pick a doctor.
Wow.
Really?
Right.
All of us should have our children taken away for being stupid.
Yeah, for going to them.
Exactly. Right, like that's how you pick a doctor, a pediatrician for your child. Literally do a book.
That doesn't tell you anything.
They didn't even have a picture there. They just had name and location. Who they cross the street?
Oh, that's close.
Yeah, exactly. Competency, none of that stuff was judged.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
There's no rating system.
Yeah, because you're programmed to obey them. Through the media, through education, you're programmed to obey them.
Right.
Through television and stories. That's what's going on.
Right.
All right. And those that don't want to obey are always
suspect.
Wait a minute. You didn't follow my instructions. See, there's a way to not following the instructions, but you have to do it within the understanding of the law.
That's true.
All right.
Because if you confront them with gun, because a lot of us, when we're conscious, we're angry.
Yes.
And we just want to share our awakeness with everybody. And so when the doctor says something stupid, you want to lord it over him as that was dumb. Just don't say anything. That's what doctors.
That's all they want you to do is say yes, doctor.
Yeah, just
yes, doctor.
And then you walk out and you do what you need to do. If you have to go there, sometimes you do have. They got the best diagnostic tools. Though we're working on getting our own, especially since none of these doctors are testing for radiation in the food. But at the same time, they have some good diagnostic tools. You use that. And when they recommend I'm going to write you a prescription, because every single visit, it always ends with, I'm going to write you a prescription. They don't ask you any questions about what you're eating. They aren't going to say, oh, you're going to put the baby in the sunlight and that'll get rid of the jaundice. They're just going by what they've been indoctrinated through a gauntlet of brainwashing to share with you and to come from on high with an attitude that if you have some sort of alternative, that's what they call just natural remedies that have been tested and proven true through millennia. And they're going to just call that alternative. And what they're practicing, which is really the new Johnny on the block, is what should be done. So you're immediately running into conflict. And so you just smile, just like you would with the police officer. There's no reason to insult him right then and there. And then you go home and you don't fill out the prescription and they don't know. They don't know anything. Okay, doctor. Oh, he has jaundice. What do you prescribe we should do? Yes. Okay, we'll get that from the Rite Aid down the block. Thank you.
Get your own doctors.
That's the best.
You need your own doctors.
That's the best.
We need our own doctors. You need to step out of that jurisdiction into your own jurisdiction. That's the point we're trying to make. All right. In your own jurisdiction, you got your own doctors. They reflect your culture, your understanding, as Dr. Collins said, your folkways, your mores. You know what I'm saying? And you can protect your rights at the same time.
That's true. That is, I love that about ARNA.
You have to be able to protect your rights
because they've built up foundation. And when I think about it, you know, there's certain things with ARNA where I'm like, I'm not sure, but at the same time, I'm like, and I'm sure about the United States. I'm sure about the established Western medical industry. Hell no. So that's the thing is I think when it comes to Black us, we have this expectation that we have to be perfect. When even these devils have had to fix and grow and, you know, do what they do by improving it generation after generation. But all of it has led to this.
We have to revise our understanding of perfection. All right. What is perfection? operating within your nature is perfection.
Mm.
All right.
Wow.
The Europeans operate within their nature. They are perfect, but they're not perfect for you. All right.
Right.
All right. So as we operate in our nature, we become perfect
Wow.
for each other. That's all it is. All right.
Mm.
All right. Because everything is constantly growing and developing or dying. All right. So perfection cannot be completion.
Mm.
All right. Perfecting the universe is perfect. It acts within its nature. It's the planets in the universe. Everything stays within its orbit and where it's magnetically placed and energetically communicating. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And when that's not
the body is
interfered with,
perfect.
it's beautiful.
The body is perfect. You've destroyed it. You've made it imperfect.
Oh.
All right. The mind is perfect. You've made it imperfect with your thought patterns.
Believe in these folks.
Exactly.
Truly,
And following another man's this idea of perfection or value system, as we say. All right. So the only thing that's perfect is that which is not mixed, diluted, or tampered with. All right. So stop mixing, diluting, and tampering with yourself and your children. Right. All right. You mix and dilute it and tamper with them with ideas, with expression, with things. You go mess with their medical system, which is designed for them. It's not designed for you. All right. There's some crossover that we can have, of course, in certain aspects, because we need technology in order to heal or to work with our people and bring them to the state of being that they're supposed to be in. Right. We need to be able to put a cast on you. You might need to secure. You might need to put some screws in you if you shatter your leg. You might have to put that thing back together some way with some screws and some bolts just to hold it in place to heal and take them out. There's things that have to be done. All right.
That I love that you say that because I've heard of situations where families will separate, and it's a beautiful thing, but they'll separate in an irrational sense. So that I heard of one family where the daughter, they eschewed all Western medicine whatsoever, and the daughter had a critical illness that, and I don't remember exactly what the illness was, but it was something that it was beyond them to treat it. And they kept attempting with remedies that really made no sense, actually. And it wound up leading to the death of the daughter.
Children die, unfortunately.
The children do die, but at the same time,
from mismanagement.
Mismanagement, exactly.
And lack of understanding of the parents.
Yes, you have to be humble enough to say, okay, this is beyond me.
Yes, you do. You do. But you also got to be humble enough to say, some things are too expensive to even try. I don't know. Like I said, this is really, like I said, your level of commitment got to be so hard out here that you would not even I would never take my child to the enemy. You know what I'm saying? You got to be like that. Like I would never take my child to the enemy. How you gonna get free? If you ain't listen to me. If you ain't got that type of commitment, like yo, if it got to be like that, got to be like. I'm not saying you want nobody dead.
Okay, yeah, I'm not
saying
that's what
that.
I'm saying.
I'm not saying you want nobody dead.
Okay, because but
people are dying in their hands.
Yeah, people are dying in their hands, but you've got to do the studying so you can see the people are dying from food.
Yes, absolutely.
Derived illnesses.
Absolutely.
But if you got a bone sticking up out your leg, then like you said, sometimes you're going to need pins. Something's going to be shattered and it's going to need to be put together. But in the meantime, all of us need to be working.
Yeah, but I'm talking about independence, nationhood, and things like that.
Yes.
Yo, you got to have a commitment like that. Like, yo, nah. No, we ain't leaving nobody in the care of the enemy. All right. We have to care for our own or learn how to do it. Damn it.
That's what I mean.
What I'm saying?
That's what it's going. It's a
we have to be serious like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
We should not. Too many of us, we are quote unquote esteemed elders and leaders are dying in these hospitals. They talk all that shit 40 years and they ain't got no hospital to go to. When they say,
I know that ain't
you know what I'm saying?
Shame. I know. Of all the things that there are people out there who are capable, Black people, capable of opening up a little clinic that would be about natural healing and during the whole scamdemic, to have heard crickets from these dudes. There wasn't a single one of these black politicians, leaders, anyone who said a word against any of it. I was almost devastated. I was just so shocked.
You need a government.
Right.
You need indigenous government. You need your own jurisdictions to operate out of. All right. You need your own constitution. You need all these things. You need your own law system, judgments. Know what I'm saying? Enforcements. You gotta have this stuff on your own. You gotta be thinking like this. All that going with your hat in your hand every year to the president or to the coon or following Al Sharpton them cats to put their hand out. Yo, this is why you're in this condition.
Right.
Because nobody want to do the hard work. They always, you know what I'm saying? In fact, you never even see these Negroes talk about geopolitics generally.
No.
They don't. If anything about geopolitics is something they got, some line message they got straight from the Democratic Party headquarters.
Right.
They don't never step out of their bounds with no geopolitics.
Right. Wow.
All right.
Wow.
So they're not even considering independent nationhood. That's my point I'm trying to make. If you can't even talk geopolitics, there's ain't no way you're gonna be considering independent nationhood for your people. Because now you're talking about geopolitics.
Right.
Because now you have to make common ground with other nations, not the Democratic Party, but other national governments to do trade. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Import, export.
Just sidestep the middleman.
Not just ideology. That's all you're getting from the Democratic Party is the ideology is being parroted by your politicians. All right. We're talking about real national infrastructure, hospitals like you need. You know what I'm saying?
Schools.
Birth. You need a birth registry. You need a death registry. You need a hospital. You know what I'm saying? You need school system. You need transportation system. All right. You need power and energy system
and roadway and maintenance.
Exactly. This stuff you gonna if you ain't thinking about this shit, then you plan on you and your descendants spending another 300, 400, 500 years under the rule of your enemy.
With this.
Yes.
And I don't. First of
all,
I'm
not trying to trivialize this.
No, I'm not.
Right.
Because I want to give just acknowledgement to the horror that they must have experienced.
Oh, it's a terrible experience.
When Elijah was born, oh my God, you give birth to your heart. It's your heart walking out free on its own. Now, and for anybody to take my child away.
A week later.
Oh, it was a month later.
A week later.
Oh, a week later after birth.
A week later, they went to the doctor. Okay, a week later, they went to the doctor. It didn't by the 28th.
20-something, over 20 days.
It was 20 days?
They didn't get the child back, and they were only allowed to see the child.
No, they got the body. No, listen to me.
No.
Listen,
what?
you're looking at the wrong timeline. I'm saying the child was a week old when they took it to the doctor's office. All right. And then there was some time between the confiscation of the child and them seeing a doctor. I don't know how long that was.
Well, I was just saying that.
But they were separated a month from the child after the confiscation. Exactly.
Yeah.
The robbing,
and
the body snatching.
Still had 2 children for whom they had to put a brave face on the whole thing when that is an emotional terrorization that they experienced.
Every picture she in, she's destroyed. She's through.
She cries at the drop of the hat, and I can kudos. I applaud this sister.
She never even got a chance to deal with the postpartum.
Right. And the whole bonding, that is so integral.
That's why they want to interfere. Because they have to break the bonding between the child and the parents to control the growth and development of the child. All right? And we talked about this before. We got to mess with you in this trimester and that trimester. They mess with you all these different times during the pregnancy to help break that bonding. And of course, as soon as you get out the hospital, as soon as you have the child, they taking it from the mother.
Right.
You have the child, you carry for 9 days, and they take it. Does that make any sense? But you carry that child for 9 months, you go to the doctor, have a child, and they take it and separate you from it immediately.
And it's all okay.
You can only see the child when the nurse deems to bring it in for you.
Exactly. Well, that's very true. That's very true.
You screwed. No, that's all that is doing is destroying the bonding processes and making it harder for you to connect with your child or make it easier for them to separate from you. Not just physically, spiritually, intellectually. All right?
That's true.
All right. So that's why it's an invasion of the baby snatchers, because that's how they got you in this position in the first place. They had to separate the child from the parents to make a slave out of you. All right.
Right, because that is such a profound. When I was pregnant, I literally was connected with the ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
I could feel them all the way back. I don't know. I was like, wow, this is deep. And so then when my son was born, I felt that it was something spiritual. It was on a whole nother dimensional level of consideration that had never entered my mind up until that point. So for them right then, yes, they take the baby away, they clean the baby up. Like what?
Yeah, strangers.
Strangers.
Because they want you to, that's training conditioning for the mother too. Because we're gonna make you put them in daycare with strangers too. In 2 years, you're gonna put them in daycare with strangers. And now the children are going to work with strangers in 3 months because you ain't taking care of your baby. These sisters ain't taking care of them. They're going right back to work in 3 months.
Yes.
So there's no bonding going on. You giving your baby to strangers 3 months after 2 months after child months, so you can go to work. And that's an indictment against the black man right there. That's the shame of the black man right there.
I can't say anything now.
As a man, you should be ashamed that your wife, anybody, the mother of your child has to give it to strangers 2 or 3 months so she can go work. Nigga, you need to get another job or 2 so she can bond with the child and make that bond and make that child ally of yours and not an enemy that they're growing up to be.
That's wild.
You're not thinking rushing the woman out the house after she has a child. That's a dumb idiot move. That's slave stuff, bro. That's plantation thinking. That's bed wench thinking. Right. All right. You done dropped that sucker. They say her roots. She done dropped the sucker, put her ass back in the field now. At least when you was in the field, you was able to bring your sucker with you and put him in a little cradle and rock him a little bit while you pick cotton. You can't do that because you give them to strangers in 2 months. Right. You can't take the baby to the office. All right. You can take the baby to the field. Yeah. You get that sunlight on them.
Right. Right away. You're right.
You know what I'm saying? They can just be rocking in that cradle. You know what I mean? Look at that. Bro, the white man got you coming and going. Fore and aft, to and fro. Like the Bible say. I go, where are you? I'm going, the devil said, I'm going back and forth across the land. I'm seeking who I may devour. Right. I'm traveling back and forth across the land, seeking who I may devour. That's all they do.
We were walking with the devil and didn't even recognize him.
Yeah, till we was in the belly. When we sitting in the belly of the devil.
But
you've been devoured.
Allah, who understood who he was, recognized him on sight. Said, devil. What you up to? Yeah.
So don't be devoured. Don't let your children be devoured. Well, don't let your children be devoured under your watch. If they want to go be devoured after you get free, and that's on them. You know what I'm saying? But under your watch, don't let them get devoured.
Now that's one thing that I have to say, because they put out this, conversion therapy is so scary. And I'm not saying that's white people. When they get desperate, they do all kinds of stupid stuff. But the real conversion therapy happens before you even get pregnant. And that the conversion therapy, that's because they're like, oh my God, no, my child is saying that they're homosexual or whatever. And then they'll chain them to a radiator, torture them. That's wrong. But the real bringing a child into, so that by the time they're 3 years old, you're looking at who you're going to be seeing as a grown person. That all begins strategically from the beginning and developing that bond. So what Dr. Z was saying about the, putting them in daycare after just 3 months, and then they got you in the bathroom at your job pumping breast milk as some sort of backup, like, oh yeah, you could pump breast milk. No, that's the getting that connection so that you are an honest parent, an honest mother to your child, and you build up a trusting bond, which includes not lying to them about Santa Claus, Satan Claus. That's something that you are going to benefit from 20, 30 years later, because they're hunting our children massively. And so if you have that connection where your child knows, even if they're mad at you, even if they want to believe what's going on the outside world, they're going to know my parents ain't never lied to me. They've always been there. That bond is like, it's unshatterable. That's why they want to destroy the family. So I also wanted to just highlight this dude who, this was a white man. They took his child just because he wouldn't get
he's taking babies all over the place. They taking babies all over. Any excuse will do.
Yeah.
If you go onto their authority, they're gonna exercise it. You go under their authority, they're gonna try to exercise it. That's just natural. And they don't like to be disagreed with. You know what I'm saying? They don't like to be disagreed with.
Yeah, they don't.
And they're encouraged to report and identify those dissidents.
Ooh.
Dissident ideas.
Ooh, you making me think. Thank you so much, brother. Because I did one. I don't know if it's this one. Yeah. The Tower for Twitter. UK minister calls for jailing social media bosses who do not censor
I saw that.
speech.
Yeah.
So it's also where, as much as they do shadow ban and censor on these platforms, it's not enough for the devils at the top. They want it to just be complete and total tyranny as far as they're concerned. So how do they control stuff? They gotta these are like
they're rich brethren. That's what it's a clique. They're all in the clique, so you gotta control the clique. That's all. They out of line. How dare you? How dare you allow information to spread through this platform?
Exactly. How dare you have the truth? That's the whole thing. They all got
board of directors to answer to. They can all just get bored. They can all just get removed. A lot of them many times. They don't own enough of the company a lot of times to have any control over it. You know what I'm saying? It's so easy to move people out financially if they really wanted to focus on you like that. You know?
Right. That's true. I didn't think about that. So I'm just, I'm happy just to say we are in charge. I know lots of folks are like, I'm so scared, because mostly we can be addicted to their corporate kitchen nonsense or their baubles or whatever. And if that's the only power the devil has over you, that's no power. You know?
Yep. Yeah, you got to rebuild your families. That's what it comes down to. If anything that's the thing you're going to have to rebuild your families and strengthen them up and take them away from those meddlers who are meddling in all their ideas and functions and everything, and making your own children your enemy. That's what's going on. That's not natural.
Right.
It's natural for them to separate. It's not natural that they be your enemy, ideological enemies.
Right.
All right.
Right.
That's some weirdo stuff. All right. Because they've been raised by weirdos. The ideology out here is weirdo. So of course they access weirdo. Weirdo, anal, retentive stuff. Disjointed, linear thinking. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what they want. They want everybody to think like a computer. That's why they play all the games all the time.
And they
want you to think linearly, A, B, C, D, G.
Yes.
They want you to be linear and do this and X, Y, Z, and they can't dance.
I think that's it.
They have to write the steps on the floor. They can't dance.
They think like that, and it can be very chaotic.
And that's limiting for you and destructive for your melanated brain.
Right.
That's not how you think. Let alone the fluoridated water you're drinking, destroying your limbic system. So you're emotionally unstable. Let alone the bad food you're eating, fried everything, mixing up sandwiches, bread and meat, and all the things that don't go together. Right. No fruit.
Right.
No organic, eating pesticides all day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
This stuff builds up in your system.
All that stuff destroys your thought processing. All right. And your reflex time. Right. So you feel you're a little slow? That's because your ass is a little slow. 9 times out of 10, it's because you're slow. You feel like you're responding slow? Right. Maybe you are slow. Yeah. Because you are plaquing up your brain. Plaque goes in the brain too. All right. You're destroying the limbic system. That which controls your emotional stability. You're destroying that. So you fly off the handle any minute, anything, any little thing, or you just born off the handle. You just break up off the handle. Ready to yell and scream at somebody, cursing out your children in the street for anything, talking to them like they grown people or the man or their daddy. Like you taking everything their daddy did against you out on them in public for public view. All right.
I know that breaks my heart.
Destroying them. It's destroying their ability to be empathetic. That's what it's destroying.
Oh.
Because they grow up and they don't care. Like my mom yelled at me, I don't give a damn. Nothing phases me. I'm disconnected.
And they don't even think about they're the other person. And
Nah,
yeah,
not at all. I'm just wilding on you like I got wilded on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's all you're doing. They just great, like I said. They're nursing their own enemies.
Mm.
What the Bible say, children are their oppressors and women rule over them. They're talking about the black man. The children are your oppressor and the woman rules over you. They're talking about you, brother. Bruh. Bruh. They talk about you. You let children, little guys oppress you. You talk to young men on it. How you can't talk to young brothers no more? All right?
That's what we used to do.
That's crazy. How's your older brother can't talk to young brothers no more? That was unheard of when I was coming up. We wanted to be around the older brothers when I was growing up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We want to be like men. Now everybody want to dress like men, act like men. Men smoking cigarettes, we want to smoke cigarettes. Whatever men do, we want to do. Now y'all want to be like children, dressed like children, sneakers everywhere, baseball caps everywhere. Yeah. Don't know what a tie or a shirt or button. They ain't got nothing. They ain't got a pair of slacks, nothing. Infantilized.
You are wearing baseball caps, but from the Negro leagues.
Yeah, I have baseball caps. I got clothes too.
Yeah, I know.
I got shoes too.
Right,
I have shoes. I have suits. Yeah, I have that stuff. But these guys ain't got none of that. All they have is leisure attire, baseball and basketball attire. Right. And sneaker closet full of sneakers. They ain't got no shoes. All right? You have been infantilized, black man. You just run around trying to get a little toy to play with, be it a car or a motorcycle or some dumb woman that you sniffing around. You've been infantilized. You've been made a boy and you've accepted it and you're glorifying in it. So that means you're taking on no responsibility. You're not respected and you're not going to be respected. Right. I mean, you can't have it both ways. You can't be a boy and a man. You got to be a man or a boy.
Well, speaking in terms of the nature of the black man, I think that if you're right now, they keep the very limited concept of what manhood is up in front, especially of black men, where I've heard people say things about, a sporting event. This is history. And I'm just like, who's going to remember this?
That's men. I saw that game. No.
And what's it all mean? It has no impact on
it
society.
has no meaning in reality. No.
Yeah.
It's all sport and play, as the Quran would say. It's sport and play, yes. So it's meaningless. All right. You might have an emotional attachment to the event because you got excited and you won some money, but it don't mean nothing in the long run thing. Manhood is not even a whole big explanation either. Manhood is someone who accepts and takes on the responsibility of providing for his family. And leadership. You gotta accept, you have to maintain and lead. That's what you got to be the father. That's what men do. You maintain the family financially, spiritually, physically, whatever maintenance, keep the house up. You know what I'm saying? All right. And you take on and you lead by example. You show them how it's supposed to be done by executing your life in the fashion that represents code, honesty, honor, respect. You know what I'm saying? You ain't lying all the damn time. You ain't stealing all the damn time.
Scheming.
You believe in being on time. You make an appointment and keep it. You keep your word. Little stuff like that. That's what men do. Right. We serious about our responsibility. Like if I say I'm going to do it, nobody better come in here and try to do my damn job. That's my job.
That's the truth.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody supposed to be taking care of my woman. That's my job. You know what I'm saying? Nobody should be doing anything for my children like that. I mean, unless they related stuff like that. But on a real level, not. That's my job. I'm the man. I'm the father. I'm responsible. All right. I take on that duty and I glorify in it. You know what I'm saying? And I execute it to the best of my ability. All right. But I take it. And it's not given to you. You got to take it.
That's true.
You got to take it. Because trust me, these sisters want to lead. They'll run right past your ass. All right. Sisters want to lead. So you better qualify yourself to lead because they're going to challenge you.
See, now there is where I conceded to you being the leader of our family simply because you earned it. And I saw through slowing everything down, I got to a point in my life where I was like, okay, I need to see what whomever I'm dating is really about. And so I got to see, I was like, whoa, he's for real. He ain't joking. And that's how you earned my respect
You
and
have
my
to earn,
loyalty.
everything got to be earned in this society. Men earn everything.
I agree.
Anything a man got, trust me, he earned. A real man, anything a real man got, he earned. Trust and believe.
But they mixed it up so that if brother is not,
not talking to you. I'm not
perceptive.
Yeah.
He'll get caught out.
But I'm not even talking about. I mean, yeah, even physically. I mean, you earned the car, you had to pay for it. I mean, yeah, all that stuff. But I mean,
right.
Those things that are not quantifiable, like love and respect. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You got those. You trust me. You earn those.
That's true.
All right.
That's true.
If you can buy it, yeah.
You can't buy that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Anything that can be replaced is not really of value.
Right.
The things that can't be replaced are the most valuable things in your life. All right. Car break down, you can replace it. House burned down, you can replace it. Child dies,
you can't replace it.
You can have 12 more children, you're never going to replace that one.
Wow.
Never. All right.
Wow.
So the things that can be replaced, you can stop obsessing over because they don't really have that much value. All right. Obsess over the things that can't be replaced. Value them things. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You ain't got to wax, you ain't got to clean your wheels every time you walk by the car, bro. All right. Wipe it down every time you.
Who's got?
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. curse your woman out every time you see her. You know what I'm saying? Don't see your children at all. Or ain't got no words of nothing or no wisdom to share with them if they show up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Can't provide nothing but a pair of Jordans. You got Jordans. You know what I'm saying? Bro, that's not manhood, bro. We got to raise the bar. The bar's already raised. We got to raise ourselves to meet the bar.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always extraordinary to me because doing the right thing is just such a reward. It's so preferable. And so I'm stunned when I run into people who are still just confused and uncertain. I see almost a hesitancy and a cowardice on their part where they don't want to do the growth. And I know it takes time to get used to the next step, but it's so fulfilling. It was worth every single fool I turned down, and I was feeling lonely all the way through to wait to meet you. It's so worth it. What an investment that pays off decade after decade. That all, just giving into your immediate fearful emotions can never, ever never give you that. And so when people are stuck in their bad behaviors that are grinding them into the same routine, I'm just really like astounded, but I know it's because they don't know that there is another option, and that, because folks will get jealous of others who seem to have more, and they want to believe, oh, no, you can't be doing okay because I'm not doing okay. But the thing is that you can be doing okay too. It's not just, the private property of somebody down the block and you can only envy them. You can have the same exact thing yourself, but it's going to be unique to you. It's going to be specific to you. And you just put that work in. Perfect for you.
Yeah, it's all good.
Thank you, Queen. I know who I am. Oh, I love you, sister. Thank you for recommending that book. Should we...
Have we covered enough of that stuff? I don't even remember where. Oh, well, suffice to say, they got the child back after a month of separation. They had 2 visits in that month. Supervised visits.
Wow.
So the baby, like I said, baby separated with strangers. Now you have to bring them back. Anybody got children know they spend 1 weekend away from the house, then you gotta bring them back on and break them back in when they come back. Anybody with children know that. You send your children away for a weekend, or God forbid they go away for a month somewhere.
It's a whole.
You bring them home, you gotta break them into that. This is how we do it over here again.
Right.
All right. So, and that's children that are around you all the time. So newborns,
and I get
the much more intense,
and also touch. I'm quite sure that baby was laying untouched most of the time because those nurses don't have time to just focus on. It wasn't an adoption. So the baby, I remember with Elijah, I had to acclimate him to being held, to being touched.
Mm-hmm.
And once he got used to it, he's like, oh, he loves it, that he's a huggy guy. And so these are things that they're milestones, and that's what they call them. And you don't, like, you could have feral children who stay feral. They can, because the brain in infancy is growing exponentially. So you have literal brain matter, brain tissue being formed around the experiences. The neurons in the baby cell line up based on those experiences. So what the damage they did to them overinflating the issue of jaundice, I would recommend they sue over that. And I understand they do have a couple of organizations, and it seems Black-centered organizations that are going to work on their behalf. And I hope they are conscious enough to really fight. But other than that, all they could do is just move on.
It was crazy. They should never have executed the warrant in the first place. The wrong names were on it, so I didn't understand that.
Wow!
The wrong names were on the paper. The wrong mother was on the paper that the CPS and the police used to get the child. That's the weirdest thing in the world.
And they didn't.
And the police didn't even look at that paper. Look at this name. This name is not even right. See, so that's right there is grounds for a lawsuit.
Oh my goodness!
All right.
Wow.
The police were not supposed to execute that in the first place because the names were not right. Wow. If the police break down your door for a warrant and somebody else's name on that, they're held liable.
Right.
Don't you get it?
Wow.
So if her name is not on there, then they executing it. Who's baby? What's the child? Who's the child? Why are you taking it from this person? Like, come on, it's too much nonsense about that, man. That's like,
wow.
Yeah. Wow. So I mean, it's a simple case actually for them to win, but still, hopefully the damage can be corrected. But you don't undamage. It's hard to undamage a building or undamage a thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's easier to break something than undamage it and then fix it. You know what I mean?
Right. You have to build up. You build a scab over the wound.
You break a mug. You can put it back together, but it's gonna look broken.
Right.
Every crack will still be apparent.
Right.
Yeah, and it's not as structurally sound as it was before it was broken either.
Yeah.
That's the way DNA is. You break it, it's going to be structurally unsound. But unlike DNA, we can correct that. We can use nutrition. That's why we got 25,000 year cycle. You can use DNA to correct the errors. That's why I got the Pine Power, help correct those D3 deficiency errors that you're dealing with. There's all type of stuff going on.
Yeah,
that's why we got the gastrointestinal clinic, the real detox kit to help you correct the errors, to help you get rid of the fat. You know what I'm saying? To help you get your weight down or get your weight up or whatever way you want to go. All right? That's what all this stuff is for. This is lifestyle.
Yeah, that's exactly.
So this is where we're at.
Yeah,
and so go on and go to the website. Got free consultations going on right now. Just go get yourself a free consultation while they still free. All right,
and they won't be
because a lot of people you need. Anybody can just buy something, but sometimes you need to talk to people to get some focus. You know what I'm saying? And I will help you get focused and hone in on the real issues at hand that you need to do, the things you need to do to correct the problems you are having with your health or your diet or even your attitude or your perspective on life. We deal with all of that because that's what this is about. Health is not just your body.
Right.
All right.
Right.
Your mind has to be healthy. Your thoughts have to be healthy. You know what I'm saying? We have a spiritual being. We are spiritual too. That's all health. All right.
All right. I hear that. Okay. I'm gonna greet you, family. I'm not gonna go. Thank you, everybody who has come on through. It's a beautiful conversation going on in the chat room. That just makes me feel so empowered. So I'm going to start right here. And Sister
Why not Queen, go to the top?
Oh, okay. I'll go on. I love it, brother.
Why not go to the top?
I'll go right on up to the top.
We start at the beginning.
Sister Gwen B, Queen, I know who I am. General Mosquito. Oh, reliable. Celestia Danes. How you doing, Queen? And DeGelmo, good to meet you, beloved. The sum of all the components is greater, more potent than the individual separated parts. That's right.
Dason Production.
DA-san, brother
DA-san.
DA-san. Love to see you, brother. And I don't want to miss anybody. I think I got everybody that is in the chat room. Brother Roy Zero, good to see you, brother. And all right, there we go.
All right, any questions?
Right. Yeah, any questions? Then
they probably they might have questions in the chat. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. I went by very quickly. So I don't, they might also, everybody is figuring we were just doing what we were doing and they might not have any questions directed towards us. But yeah, if you have any, just type them on down here. Yeah, retype it in case if it was up there. You can't hear my Dr. Z right now. But yeah. Let's see now. Okay, yeah, you guys, I think you're talking amongst yourselves. Thank you, Queen. I know who I am. And that is a wonderful thing. Your donations are integral. I didn't, because I'm always fixated or focused on man-made radiation and all its aspects. So I'm like a freight train or a bullet train, really. So I don't sometimes think of all the other things that are connected. And I realized I was like, why you got this daggone collection, a library of books on radiation? It's because of you. Your donations, your purchases have made it possible. Because if I had to go and bother Dr. Z every time I needed to read a new book, it would be like, is no one else is going to assist you? If you're doing this for the people and the people aren't going to assist you, then it makes no economic sense, because he's a practical minded brother. He's not going to just do stuff for a compliment. So when I look at what effect you helping me has had, that library is it. I've gone around the internet and looked at other white anti-nukers. Those are the ones who are the most busy. I haven't seen anybody with the collection of books that I have, the collection of titles and the subject matter, so that I can understand it on a massive level. Even wonderful white anti-nukers who are explaining the particulars about man-made radiation, they never brought book lists out and just said, yo, just go get these books and you'll understand. I even wonder, I was like, why didn't they just say, go read the books? Because immediately, if anybody from the nuclear industry comes on through and says something stupid, I recognize it right away. I'm like, get out of here. So it has removed all doubt. And that is one of the reasons why we assist me in getting what is actually vital work, because they're shipping the food in from Fukushima. There's no more alerts whatsoever. And it has impacts, devastating impacts. The fact they're not talking about it at all, you just got to know that that's a plan. That's a strategy. Because if it were accidental, they would mention it sometimes, because the data's all there. So you help me. And my goal, I know, is going to happen, which is to test our food for radiation. That must be done. Even without a spectrometer, I have been able to find out all the different methods that they are poisoning us with radiation. When you poison people with that, you are destroying their ability to reproduce themselves in the future. That's how devastating it destroys. Talking about babies, they're not going to have to snatch any babies because there won't be any, given enough time and the buildup of radionuclides, which do build up. So I appreciate you for all that any of you do to be of assistance. And donations, your donations have an impact with me. They work for us. Okay. All right. And so I think I said all I need to say. And let's see. And thank you, Sister Gwen B, for putting the channel link up on in there. I think I've said all that I need to say. Let's see. Ella, let's see. Queen, I'll take that old $50 book of paper food stamp. Oh, I think you're talking with someone up in the chat room because I'm not sure, beloved old reliable, what you mean by that. But $60. Well, my book on Amazon is $50. It's a great place to go and read the reviews so you can verify it's genuine in what it all provides. But then go on over to 25,000 Year Cycle. You could get the printed version for $35 and I'll mail that out to you. Or you could get the ebook, which you download immediately for $25. So we just don't have a separate review page on there so that you could leave, and I wouldn't take it off if somebody wanted to leave a bad review, but I don't highlight Amazon anymore because they allow people to go in and put either 1 star, which then brings down the rating. As a matter of fact, my Dr. Z has just gone into the kitchen. I just want to showcase something that was really just pathetic. I had spoken about the book, The Crime of Chernobyl. Hold on a second. I gotta, oh, I know I could do this over here. Let's see now. New incognito, and there we go. And there we go. That's much better. Let's do the crime of Chernobyl. I had spoke about this book and how just detailed it was, and that I left a review. You see, here's 2 reviews, and it says 4 stars. This is my 5-star. Someone came in and left a 3-star review, and there's not a word. They didn't say anything. That's somebody who is not even a verified purchase. But this is how scared. I would say this was a nuclear shield definitively, but this is how scared they are that they had to. Let me get on down to the details right here. Let's see now. Ratings. There we go. There's me. Okay. There's no other. See, all reviews, even though there's just 2 reviews, nobody wrote a review. That's not someone who's a verified purchase. Whereas what I said, you could tell it's a verified purchase right up here. Verified purchase. So I don't highlight Amazon anymore because people who can't stand me will go in and just put 1 little star. So probably in I don't know, by the end of this live, they'll go and put a couple of 1 stars on up in there. And eventually it'll seem like, rather, if you read the actual reviews, it's all 5 stars. There's one good brother who left 4 stars because at that time I had a lot of grammatical errors in Furnace of Affliction, and which I corrected. But so it should be all 5 stars, but it's all people who are just glowing over it. But you have folks who this bad review, the stars, was left only after I even mentioned it. This was March 22nd. And then shortly after that, I talked about how this is an excellent freaking book. It really schooled me on just how disgustingly genocidal the World Health Organization and the International Atomic Energy Agencies are. And then the person right after that went and left a bad review. So I'm just saying, that's my problem with Amazon. And I should get on off of here now. I love you. Let's see now. Thank you. So yeah, verified purchases. Those are the only ones that you should take seriously. And who knows, they may just buy a book for $25 or $50 and then leave a really scalingly awful review. Just go by the folks who left their reviews. That was black us right off the bat. All right, let me get on out of here, family. I love you so much. Straight Black family pride, and we are on our way to forever. Peace and blessings. Say it loud. We're Black and we are surely worth being proud of. Okay, I don't know what the heck I just said, but I just tried the best I could. Love you, family. Peace.